Hello, coin collectors and enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into a very special and rare piece of American history, the 1976 no-min-mark Lincoln penny. These seemingly ordinary pennies could be worth as much as $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. A 1976 penny, with no mint-mark, could potentially be worth a fortune. Stick around to learn why these pennies have taken the coin collecting world by storm and how to identify one in your collection. Before we get into the specifics of the 1976 penny, let's talk about mint marks. Mint marks are small letters found on U.S. coins, indicating where the coin was minted. For example, the D mint mark shows that the coin was made at the Denver Mint, while the S indicates the San Francisco Mint. Normally, the Lincoln penny has one of these mint marks, either D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no mint mark if it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Now, let's talk about the 1976 Lincoln penny, which is particularly interesting because it's part of a rare group of coins that were produced with no mint mark at all. In 1976, the U.S. Mint struck billions of pennies, and most of them carried a mint mark. However, in Philadelphia, a very limited number of 1976 pennies were produced without any mint mark. This was a mistake, and because of this, they became a rarity. Coins that were accidentally produced without mint marks are known as error coins, and these can be incredibly valuable to collectors. While most pennies from 1976 will have either the D or S mint mark, the 1976 no mint mark Lincoln penny is a collector's dream. Its rarity comes from the fact that it was produced without the mint mark, making it extremely hard to find. First, look for the year 1976 on the coin. Then, check the reverse side of the coin for any mint mark. If you don't see a D or S on the reverse side, you might be holding a 1976 no mint mark penny. The value of the coin depends largely on its condition. If you find a 1976 no mint mark Lincoln penny that's in mint condition, you could be looking at a coin worth a lot more than its face value. Even in worn condition, these coins can be valuable, but the better the condition, the higher the price tag. Now, let's get to the exciting part. How much is a 1976 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth? This is where things get interesting. While most 1976 pennies are worth only 1 cent, the no mint mark era pennies can fetch a premium. A well-preserved coin in excellent condition can be worth upwards of $1 million. Yes, $1 million. But how does that happen? The reason these coins are so valuable is due to their extreme rarity. Only a handful of these coins were ever produced, and they didn't get much attention at first. However, as time went on, collectors started to realize how rare and special these era coins are. Over the years, their value has skyrocketed, and now they're considered one of the most sought-after coins in the numismatic world. If you believe you have one of these rare coins, it's important to have it authenticated by a professional grader to confirm its value. You can contact major coin dealers, attend coin shows, or work with a reputable auction house to get the best price for your coin. Make sure you work with a trusted expert who can guide you through the process and help you avoid any potential scams. So, there you have it. The 1976 no mint mark Lincoln penny is a rare and highly valuable coin, with the potential to be worth a whopping $1 million or more. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just starting out, always be on the lookout for era coins like these, as they could turn out to be hidden treasures in your collection. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips and information on rare coins and collectibles. Who knows, your next penny might be worth more than you think. We're diving into an incredible topic that's sure to blow your mind. If you're a coin collector or just someone interested in the world of rare and valuable coins, then you're in for a treat. We're talking about the 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that could be worth a staggering $1.1 million. Yes, you heard that right. In this video, we're going to explain exactly why this coin is worth so much and how you might just have one hiding in your change jar without even knowing it. So, let's get right into it. First, let's take a quick refresher on the basics of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909, featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and the famous wheat ears on the reverse, which was the design until 1958. After that, the reverse was changed to the Lincoln Memorial design, which continued until 2008 when the design was updated again. Now, most of the pennies you see today are from the years after the 1950s, and they're usually worth just 1 cent. But here's where things get interesting. The 1980 Lincoln penny is a bit different. Normally, U.S. coins will have a mint mark on them that shows where the coin was made. For most years, you'll see either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint, however, often doesn't use a mint mark, and for most years, including 1980, a lot of the pennies struck there were also made without any mint mark at all. But here's the kicker. There's a rare variation of the 1980 penny that was struck with no mint mark and has some unique characteristics that make it extremely valuable. Now, before we go any further, let's talk about how much this coin is actually worth. At first glance, it might seem like a regular 1980 penny, but if you happen to come across a 1980 penny with no mint mark and certain characteristics, it could fetch up to $1.1 million in the market. Yes, $1.1 million. Let's break down why.to explain this. We need to talk about a mistake that happened at the US Mint. You see, in 1980, there was a mix-up during the minting process. Some pennies were accidentally struck without a mint mark when they should have had one. This mistake was rare, and over the years, it became clear that these particular pennies were far scarcer than any other normal 1980 pennies. Over time, coin collectors and enthusiasts started to realize the value of these rare 1980 no mint mark pennies. It wasn't long before a few of them were sold at auction for astronomical prices, ranging from tens of thousands to even over $1 million in some cases. This price is not just based on the rarity of the coin, but also its condition and its historical significance in coin collecting circles. Now, if you're wondering how to identify these valuable 1980 no mint mark pennies, it's important to examine a few key factors. First, you'll need to look at the date. Obviously, it has to be from 1980. Then, check for the absence of a mint mark on the reverse of the coin, where you'd normally see either a D or an S. But remember, not all 1980 pennies without a mint mark are valuable. The most valuable ones are the ones with an error in the minting process. These can be identified by some subtle differences in the weight, thickness, and design of the coin. Another important thing to note is the condition of the coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable it becomes. Coins that are in mint condition, with little to no wear or scratches, will fetch much higher prices. The coin grading system is used to determine the quality of the coin, and the highest grade coins can be worth far more than those with noticeable wear and tear. So, what does this mean for you? If you happen to find a 1980 penny with no mint mark in your change, it's worth taking a closer look. While not all of them are worth a fortune, the ones that were struck with errors are incredibly rare and can be sold for a significant amount of money. The best way to confirm whether your 1980 penny is one of these rare coins is to have it professionally appraised by a coin expert. They'll be able to check for the unique characteristics that make the coin so valuable and help you determine whether you've just stumbled upon a small fortune. Before we wrap up, let's quickly go over some additional facts about the 1980 no mint mark penny. First, keep in mind that while these pennies are rare, they're not the only coins with minting errors out there. There are plenty of other coins that have been struck with mistakes, and some of them can also be worth significant amounts of money. However, the 1980 no mint mark penny holds a special place in the hearts of collectors due to its high value and its fascinating story behind the era. To conclude, if you're a coin collector or even just someone who likes to keep an eye out for rare and valuable items, don't overlook the 1980 Lincoln penny. With its potential to be worth as much as $1.1 million, this small, unassuming coin could be your ticket to a life-changing discovery. So next time you get some change, take a moment to check those pennies closely. You never know what you might find. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content on rare coins, collectibles, and valuable finds. And as always, feel free to leave your thoughts or any questions you have about rare coins in the comments below. Did you know that a single penny, the 2001 D mint mark Lincoln penny, could be worth over $1.2 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, let's take a closer look at how one small coin could fetch such an incredible price on the market. To the untrained eye, a regular 2001D penny might seem like nothing special. But in the world of numismatics, the study and collection of coins, this penny has become a rare treasure that some are willing to pay a fortune for. First, let's break down what makes the 2001D penny stand out. The D mint mark indicates that this penny was struck at the Denver Mint, and while many of these pennies were produced, it's the rarity of a specific flaw in a small number of them that's causing such a stir in the market today. So what is this flaw? In some cases, the 2001D penny features a double die error. This means that the design of Abraham Lincoln's portrait and the inscriptions on the coin are doubled, making it much more valuable to collectors. As you can see here, the doubling effect is noticeable on both the date and the words Liberty and In God We Trust. The flaw occurs when the coin is struck more than once, causing a misalignment in the design. This is a rare occurrence, and when it happens, the coin becomes a sought-after collector's item. The 2001D double die penny is a perfect example of how small mistakes in the minting process can lead to big rewards for collectors. The value of these coins is driven by both their rarity and the condition in which they're found. Now, the value of these pennies can vary greatly depending on their condition. A 2001D penny in excellent condition, with clear doubling and no signs of wear, can be worth anywhere from a few $100s to several thousand. But the ones that make headlines are the ones in top condition, graded by experts as mint state or even proof-like, with sharp, clear doubling. Some of these rare 2001D pennies have sold at auction for staggering amounts. In fact, one of the most famous examples sold for over $1.2 million, proving just how much collectors are willing to pay for a coin with the right combination of rarity and historical significance. But how do you find one of these valuable pennies? The key is knowing what to look for. Start by examining your 2001D pennies closely, especially the date, the mint mark, and the lettering. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to check for the double die error. While the 2001D double die penny is among the most famous, it's not the only valuable coin out there. Collecting rare coins can be an exciting and profitable hobby, with many coins from various years being worth thousands, or even millions, depending on their condition and rarity. So, is your pocket change worth a small fortune? It just might be. Check your coins carefully, and you could be sitting on a hidden treasure. The 2001D Mintmark Lincoln penny is a prime example of how even the most common coins can become rare treasures. Remember, if you find one with a double die error, it could be worth far more than its face value. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and how to spot them, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Who knows? You might find the next coin worth millions in your own pocket change. We're diving into a topic that has been making waves in the coin collecting community, the 1967 No Mintmark Lincoln penny. You may have heard about it, and you might even be wondering, what's so special about this penny? Well, this seemingly ordinary coin is worth a lot more than most people realize. In fact, some of these pennies can fetch a jaw-dropping price of up to $1.3 million. So, grab your magnifying glass, because we're about to explore why the 1967 No Mintmark Lincoln penny is such a hot item in the world of numismatics. Before we get into the exciting details, let's take a quick moment to talk about what a mintmark is and why it matters. A mintmark is a small letter that appears on coins, indicating where they were minted. For example, a D stands for Denver, S stands for San Francisco, and P represents Philadelphia. Normally, pennies from 1967 would either have a D or an S mintmark, depending on where they were produced. However, some of these pennies were struck without any mintmark at all, making them particularly unique. Now, let's focus on the coin in question, the 1967 No Mintmark Lincoln penny. At first glance, this penny may look like any other penny from the era, but it holds a secret that most collectors are eager to discover. In fact, a 1967 penny with no mintmark can be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. But why is it so valuable? There's a fascinating story behind this penny's high value. It turns out that in 1967, a small number of pennies were mistakenly struck without a mint mark, likely due to a manufacturing error. These coins were supposed to be minted in Philadelphia, where pennies typically carry no mint mark. But due to a mistake, some of them ended up being categorized as no mint mark, even though they were supposed to be from a different mint facility. Because of this error, the 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny is extremely rare. And when you factor in its historical significance, it's no wonder why these pennies are worth so much. Collectors and investors are willing to pay big money to own one of these rare coins. You might be asking, how much can a 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny actually sell for? Well, the value can vary depending on the coin's condition. A penny in average condition might be worth a few $100s, but coins in exceptional, mint state condition can sell for thousands. The most valuable 1967 no mint mark Lincoln pennies have sold at auction for as much as $1.30 million. You're probably wondering, what makes these coins worth that much? The main factors are rarity and condition. The fact that these coins were minted in error means there are only a limited number of them in circulation today. And of course, the better the condition, the higher the value. If you want to know whether you have a valuable 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny in your collection, here's how to identify it. First, check the year on the coin. It should clearly say 1967. Next, look for the absence of any mint mark. Normally, a 1967 penny would have a D or S mint mark, but the no mint mark version will be clean in that area. Also, be sure to check the condition of the coin. The higher the grade, the more it could be worth. Coins that are well preserved and have little wear are far more valuable than those with heavy scratches, discoloration, or other signs of damage. If you believe you have a 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny, it's important to protect it. Store the coin in a safe, secure place, ideally in a protective holder to prevent damage. And if you're thinking of selling it, consider getting it professionally graded by a trusted organization like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. A certified coin will always fetch a higher price when it's time to sell. Selling through reputable auction houses, coin dealers, or specialized online platforms can help you get the best value for your coin. If it's in excellent condition, don't be surprised if you find buyers eager to pay top dollar. So there you have it. The 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny is one of the rarest and most valuable coins in the market today. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone looking to learn more about coins, it's always exciting to uncover the hidden treasures that exist in your pocket change. Who knows? That penny you've been holding on to could be worth a lot more than you think. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and their value, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. We'll keep bringing you more insights into the fascinating world of numismatics. We've got something truly special to talk about, a coin that could be worth a small fortune, the 1971 Lincoln penny with a rare mint mark. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny from 1971 could be worth over $1.4 million. How? Let's dive in and explore how a seemingly ordinary coin became an incredible treasure in the world of numismatics. At first glance, the 1971 Lincoln penny might look like just another copper coin. It was minted in San Francisco, like many other pennies in the early 70s. The S mint mark indicates it was produced at the San Francisco Mint, which was a common location for many coins during this time. But not all 1971 pennies are created equal. In fact, some of these pennies are incredibly rare and could fetch a huge price at auction or through private sales. Why is that? Let's break it down. In 1971, the U.S. Mint accidentally made a handful of pennies with a rare error. A few of these pennies were struck with a double die, meaning the design on the coin was imprinted twice, creating a noticeable error in the lettering and the image of Lincoln himself. Now, here's where things get really interesting. These error pennies, especially those from the San Francisco Mint, are extremely sought after by collectors. The double die error causes the image and the lettering to appear doubled, which gives the coin a distinct, off-center look that collectors absolutely love. If you closely examine the doubling, you'll notice that the words Liberty and In God We Trust appear to be split. You'll also see doubling on Lincoln's portrait, which is a major indicator that you've got something special on your hands. Now, let's talk about value. While the average 1971's Lincoln penny is worth just a few cents in circulation, the 1971's double-die-era penny can sell for thousands, even hundreds of thousands, depending on its condition. And in rare cases, some have fetched as much as $1.4 million at auction. That's right, a penny that costs just 1 cent to make can be worth over $1 million, but only if it has the rare double-die error. So how do you know if you have one of these valuable coins? The first thing you should do is carefully examine your penny. Look for the doubled lettering and any inconsistencies in the design. If you think you might have one of these rare error coins, it's a good idea to have it professionally appraised. If you do find a 1971's double-die error penny, it could change your financial future. But keep in mind that the condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value. Coins in mint condition, with minimal wear and tear, are worth significantly more than those that have been heavily circulated. When it comes to grading your coin, the scale runs from poor all the way to mint state, with several levels in between. A coin in mint state or proof condition will naturally be worth more than one with noticeable scratches or discoloration. So, how do you find these rare pennies? Well, you might find one in your change, but it's more likely that you'll come across them through coin dealers, auctions, or even by doing some research on online marketplaces. If you think you've found a 1971's penny with a double-die error, get it professionally graded and appraised. It could be the find of a lifetime. In recent years, rare coins like the 1971's double-die error have sparked fierce bidding wars at auctions, as collectors and investors are constantly searching for these hidden treasures. Some of these coins have sold for millions of dollars, further proving that the world of numismatics is full of surprises. The bottom line is, that seemingly ordinary penny from 1971 could be worth a lot more than you think. And if you're lucky enough to have one of these rare double-die error coins in your collection, you might just find yourself holding onto a piece of history that's worth millions. Thanks for tuning in today. If you enjoyed learning about the 1971's Lincoln penny and its incredible value, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more videos on rare coins and hidden treasures. And if you've got any rare pennies in your collection, let us know in the comments below. We're talking about one of the most fascinating and valuable pennies out there, the 1975 no-mint-mark Lincoln penny. And yes, this coin could be worth up to $1.5 million. Stick around as we dive deep into why this penny is so valuable, and how you might be able to find one in your collection. So you might be wondering, what's so special about a penny from 1975? After all, it's just a regular year, right? Well, here's where things get interesting. The 1975 penny is famous because of a very rare mistake made during the coin's production. Let's first talk about how pennies are usually made. As you probably know, pennies are minted at either the Philadelphia or Denver mints. Coins produced at the Philadelphia mint typically have no mint mark. In other words, they just feature the year and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. However, in 1975, a few of the pennies were accidentally struck at the Denver mint, and they didn't get a mint mark. That's right. The mistake here was that some of these pennies, which should have had a D mint mark for Denver, were struck without any mint mark at all, creating a huge rarity. This error makes these coins extremely valuable to collectors, especially those who specialize in mint mark errors. Now, let's get into the real meat of this video. How much is a 1975 no mint mark Lincoln penny actually worth? Well, the value can vary depending on the coin's condition, but in general, these rare pennies can be worth anywhere from hundreds of dollars to even a staggering $1.5 million. The value is determined based on the grade or condition of the penny. A coin in excellent condition, like one that's graded MS65, can fetch a significantly higher price than a worn or circulated one. But even if you find one that's in decent shape, it could still be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. If you happen to find a 1975 no mint mark penny in pristine condition, say one that is uncirculated or has a mint state grade of MS65 or higher, you could be looking at a value well into the thousands. But if you find one in near perfect condition, it could be worth upwards of $1.5 million. This is not a joke. Collectors and investors are constantly on the lookout for this era coin, and the demand is extremely high. Let me show you some examples of 1975 no-mint-mark Lincoln pennies that have been sold at auctions over the years. Some of these coins have gone for jaw-dropping amounts, with the highest one reaching over $1 million. Now, don't think that every 1975 penny without a mint mark is worth a fortune. As with any rare coin, the condition and authenticity play a huge role. If you think you found one, here are a few tips to help you determine whether it's genuine or just another ordinary penny. First, always check the coin's weight. A standard penny weighs about 2.5 grams. If your coin is lighter or heavier, it could be a clue that it's not the real deal. Next, make sure to examine the design closely under magnification. Sometimes, a worn mint mark can be mistaken for no mint mark, so be thorough in your inspection. Another thing to keep in mind is getting your coin professionally graded. There are several reputable companies, like PCGS or NGC, that can verify the authenticity and condition of your coin. A professional grade can increase the value significantly, as collectors trust these companies for their accuracy. Once you've confirmed that you have a genuine 1975 no-mint mark penny, the next step is deciding how to sell it. You can reach out to local coin dealers or even sell it through an auction house, but be sure to do your research beforehand. Some auction houses specialize in rare coins, and they may be able to help you get the best price. So, if you happen to have a 1975 penny with no mint mark in your collection, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. Whether it's worth hundreds, thousands, or even $1 million, it's definitely worth getting it checked out by a professional. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed learning about the 1975 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting tips, and leave a comment if you've ever found a rare coin. And remember, always keep an eye out for those hidden treasures. You never know what's out there. We're diving deep into one of the rarest and most valuable coins out there, the 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. You won't believe how much this coin is worth. Stick around, and let's explore why this seemingly ordinary penny could be worth a staggering $1.60 million. Now, when you think about pennies, you probably think they're not worth much. After all, pennies are the smallest denomination of currency in the US and are often seen as insignificant. But what if I told you that there's a very special 1991 Lincoln penny that could change your entire perception of value in coins? Believe it or not, this penny can fetch up to $1.6 million on the market. To understand why this penny is so valuable, let's start with the basics. A typical Lincoln penny minted in 1991 would have the mint mark, D or S. These letters indicate where the penny was made, Denver or San Francisco. But what makes the 1991 no mint mark penny so special is the fact that it doesn't have any mint mark at all. You see, in 1991, the U.S. Mint accidentally struck a small number of pennies without a mint mark, even though they were produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Normally, Philadelphia pennies carry no mint mark, but in this case, there was an oversight, making these coins extremely rare. But the story doesn't end there. This era penny doesn't just have a missing mint mark. The 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny is also made from a copper-plated zinc alloy, just like the regular pennies of the time. The key to its value lies in the sheer scarcity of the coin. These rare era coins are hard to find, and their value has skyrocketed as coin collectors and investors seek them out. If you're lucky enough to have one of these pennies in your collection, it could be worth thousands, even up to $1.6 million, depending on its condition. This penny is considered a true gem in the coin collecting world. So, what makes this particular penny worth so much? Well, the rarity is the key factor. Pennies from 1991 are common, but the no mint mark variety is extremely rare. When it was first discovered, collectors started to realize that this was an era coin. As demand for this coin grew, so did its value. A 1991 no-mint-mark Lincoln penny in excellent condition can easily fetch hundreds of thousands of dollars. However, the highest known sale price for one of these era pennies was an incredible $1.6 million. This record-breaking sale took place at a major auction and solidified this penny as one of the most sought-after coins in history. Now, you might be wondering, how do I know if I have one of these rare pennies in my possession? First, take a close look at the front of the penny. Look for the Lincoln portrait and the words, "In God We Trust." You'll need to inspect the area beneath the date for the mint mark. On a normal 1991 penny, there should be a D or S mint mark, but for the 1991 no mint mark penny, there is absolutely nothing. Once you've found your penny, the next step is to check its condition. Coins in better condition, with minimal wear and tear, will fetch higher prices. If your penny looks almost brand new, it could be worth a lot more than you think. If you think you have a 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny, the best thing to do is get it appraised by a professional coin grader. Many reputable coin dealers or numismatic experts can help you identify whether you have a genuine era penny. Once confirmed, you can sell it through auction houses, online marketplaces, or specialized dealers. There's no shortage of buyers eager to get their hands on this rare coin, so if you're lucky enough to own one, you could be sitting on a small fortune. This story of the 1991 no mint mark penny teaches us a valuable lesson. Sometimes, the most valuable items are the ones we least expect. Coins like this are a reminder of the fascinating world of coin collecting and the potential treasures hiding in our pockets. It also shows us that a small error or flaw in production can turn an ordinary item into something extraordinary. So, there you have it. The 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin worth up to $1.6 million. If you have one, or if you're just getting started in the world of coin collecting, remember to always keep an eye out for those rare and valuable coins. You never know what might be hiding in your pocket or in your collection. Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more amazing coin stories. And remember, keep on collecting. You never know what treasure you might find. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1964 mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that has become one of the most talked about rarities in the market today. Believe it or not, this small, seemingly common penny could be worth up to $1.7 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But it's true. Let's take a closer look at why this coin has become such a treasure. Now, before we get into the specifics of why the 1964 penny can be worth so much, let's first talk about the basics of the coin itself. The 1964 is a regular issue penny that was minted in Denver, which is denoted by the D mint mark on the reverse side of the coin. The penny features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. This design, created by Victor David Brenner, was first used in 1909 and continues to be one of the most iconic coin designs in American history. You might be thinking, I've seen tons of 1964 pennies. What makes this one so special? Well, that's where the story gets interesting. The key to the 1964 penny's incredible value lies in a rare minting error. In the mid-1960s, there was an issue at the Denver Mint where some of the 1964 pennies were struck with a double die obverse. This means that the coin was improperly struck, creating a doubling effect on the details of Abraham Lincoln's portrait and the inscription, Liberty. The error was very subtle at first and hard to spot, which is why so few people noticed it at the time. What makes this error particularly rare is that only a small number of these double die coins actually made it into circulation. Over the years, they have been discovered by sharp-eyed collectors and coin enthusiasts who recognized the error, and as word spread, these rare pennies started to demand high prices. So, how much are these 1964 double die pennies actually worth? Well, prices can vary, but some examples have been sold for upwards of $1.7 million at auction. Yes, you read that correctly, a penny worth $1.7 million. But, and this is important to understand, not all 1964 pennies with a doubling are worth that much. In fact, the value depends on the severity of the doubling, the condition of the coin, and the rarity of the particular error. coins in mint condition with noticeable doubling can fetch higher prices, especially when they're graded by a reputable coin grading company like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. A coin graded MS67 or higher, which means it's in nearly perfect condition, will be worth a lot more than one with some wear or discoloration. But even in lower grades, these era pennies can still be worth hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars. For example, you might find some selling for $1,000 to $5,000 depending on the quality and market demand. So, how can you tell if you've got one of these rare, valuable pennies in your collection? The first thing you'll want to do is check for the D mint mark on the reverse side of the coin. If it's there, then you're on the right track. Make sure the date is 1964. The key feature of the 1964 D double die error is the doubling on Lincoln's portrait. You'll notice a slight shadow or a split in the details of his face, his hair, and his eyebrows. The most prominent doubling usually appears in the letters of Liberty, as well. Another important area to check is the inscription, "In God We Trust." Look closely at the lettering to see if there's any noticeable doubling. To get a clear view of the doubling, you'll want to use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. The doubling may be subtle, so having a close-up view will help you identify it accurately. If you think you have a 1964 D double die penny, the next step is to get it professionally graded. Coin grading services will give you a clear indication of the coin's condition, which can significantly affect its value. You might be wondering, where can I find one of these 1964 D era pennies? Well, it's not something you're likely to find just lying around, but there are ways to track one down. Visit your local coin shops or connect with trusted dealers who specialize in rare coins. Many of them will have high-end era coins in their inventory, or they might be able to help you track one down. Websites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and other auction platforms are common places where rare coins, including the 1964 D double die penny, are sold. Be sure to do your research and only buy from reputable sellers. If you're serious about finding a rare coin like this, attending coin shows and conventions can be a great way to network with collectors and dealers. You might just stumble upon a 1964 D double die penny. The 1964 D mint mark Lincoln penny with a double die error is one of the most sought-after coins for collectors, and it can be worth a small fortune, up to $1.7 million in some cases. Whether you already have one in your collection or you're now inspired to hunt for one, it's clear that this small coin has a big value. If you have any 1964 D pennies, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. Remember, these kinds of errors are rare, but they could make you a lot of money if you find one. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more valuable coin tips and collectibles news. If you have any questions or you've found a rare coin of your own, drop a comment below. We're going to be diving into a coin that has caused quite a stir in the world of numismatics, the 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Now, we're not talking about just any penny. This particular penny is worth a staggering $1.8 million. Yes, you've heard that right, a single penny, worth more than most people's homes. So, how does a penny from 1994 end up being worth a fortune? Stay tuned as we uncover the story behind the 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny and why it's worth so much money. Before we get into the details, let's first discuss what a mint mark is. If you've ever looked closely at a US coin, you've probably noticed a small letter on it, either a D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, or no mint mark at all. Mint marks tell us where a coin was produced, and they're an important part of a coin's overall value. Now, most coins are stamped with a mint mark indicating their place of production. However, in rare cases, some coins are accidentally produced without a mint mark. These mistakes, known as no mint mark coins, can be extremely valuable to collectors, especially when they come from years where mint marks were expected. So, why is the 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny so special? Well, to start, the US Mint did not release any pennies from the Philadelphia Mint with a mint mark in 1994. In fact, all the pennies produced in 1994 were supposed to have a D for Denver or S for San Francisco, depending on whether they were produced for circulation or proof sets. But due to a rare error, a small number of 1994 pennies were mistakenly struck at the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark. This was an error, and because of its rarity, these coins are highly sought after by collectors. Finding one of these 1994 no mint mark pennies in your pocket change is like finding a needle in a haystack. However, if you happen to come across one, don't spend it. It could be worth a lot more than you think. So, what exactly is this penny worth? You might be surprised to learn that the 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny is worth a whopping $1.8 million in the current market. This value is based on the rarity of the coin and its high demand among collectors. Now, you might be wondering why a penny that's just over 30 years old is worth so much money. The truth is, it all comes down to the rarity and the error involved in its creation. While most of the 1994 pennies have mint marks, finding one that doesn't is a true treasure. In fact, it's so rare that it's one of the most valuable pennies ever discovered. To put it into perspective, if you had one of these coins in your collection, you'd be holding something worth more than gold. And it's not just collectors who are willing to pay big money for this penny. Investors and numismatists alike are eager to get their hands on one, pushing the price up even further. If you're wondering how to identify a 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny, it's actually pretty simple. First, check the date on the coin. It should say 1994. Then, carefully examine the area beneath Abraham Lincoln's shoulder on the reverse side of the penny. This is where the mint mark is usually located. If there's no D or S present, you might just have a 1994 no mint mark penny on your hands. Keep in mind that the coin should also be in good condition to command top dollar. Coins with more wear and tear or damage will generally be worth less than those in excellent or uncirculated condition. If you happen to find a 1994 no mint mark penny, you might be wondering how to sell it. The first thing you'll want to do is get it authenticated by a professional coin grader. A reputable grading service, like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, will be able to verify whether your penny is authentic and provide a grade based on its condition. Once your coin is authenticated and graded, you can sell it at a coin auction, through a reputable coin dealer, or even to private collectors. Make sure to research the best way to sell your coin to ensure you get the highest price possible. Remember, the value of rare coins can fluctuate, so it's a good idea to keep an eye on the market trends. So, there you have it. The 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that's worth a staggering $1.8 million due to its rarity and the mistake in its production. If you ever find one of these rare pennies, you could be holding on to a piece of numismatic history. Be sure to check your pocket change, because you never know, you might just find a treasure worth more than you ever imagined. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more coin collecting tips and rare finds.